Restoring men in history. We got a great one today. Cliff Maloney, significant impact in Pennsylvania on the election for Donald Trump. But what you men can learn from it is amazing. Goal setting, a big why. Problem. You find a problem. You want to be an entrepreneur? Find a problem and then do what? Solve it. Cliff Maloney found a problem. Was his purpose larger than himself? Yes. Did he have a big why? Yes. So a lot of good part. And did he know how to set goals? And we just did a goal video on being specific, measurable, smart, and you can apply the principles he uses, and they apply the principles smart. They overlap. He uses those same principles. Whether he was thinking about it or not, I don't know, but he's got measurable, specific goals. So you can apply this in whatever business you're starting or whatever business you're doing. So this is great for men and women to watch, especially you men with goals and a big why. So let's read. Problem. What was the problem that Cliff Maloney, he's a great hero. So we're doing kind of a Heroes of the Election series. I guess we are now. We did Scott Pressler today. We're doing Cliff Maloney. The problem here, he lays out the problem. And you should always lay out the problem. So find a problem, solve it. Most Republicans haven't been doing that. They like to talk about it, right? Some. The problem, 50 days of mail-in voting. You are reading that correctly. Pennsylvania, this is from his website, phchase.com. You are reading that correctly. Pennsylvania has 50 days of mail-in voting. 50 days, right? That's not good. This has led to Democrats creating a strategy of chasing ballots for 50 days, while Republicans have had what kind of plan? What plan did the Republicans have, he says? No plan. The result, Democrats win 80% of the mail-in voting on average since 2020. This is what they've been winning. This is his website talking about it. Solution, Cliff Maloney and the PA Chase. Hero comes in. The Pennsylvania Chase was launched by door-knocking guru Cliff Maloney. The project is a dedicated initiative aimed at matching the Democratic tactics. What we do, and this is a big goal, writes it down, right? We want you guys to have a big goal in life. 500,000 doors across Pennsylvania. Laser-like focus. To achieve your goals, men, you got to have focus. Cliff Maloney has a big focus. Driving up the number of GOP mail-in ballots. Spearheaded by Citizens Alliance with the primary task of knocking, get this, ready for this? Knocking on 500,000 doors in key target districts, targeting, know who you're targeting, right? In software, you're not going to sell it to everybody. You're going to target particular clients. So whatever you're doing and whatever business you're doing, there's going to be particular people you need to target. This is a targeting. So there's a lot of good business principles in this website and the plan he executes for you men to learn from. Key target districts from September 1st to November 5th. So get this, his goal was huge, enormous, right? Huge with a Y. He wanted to knock on doors from September 1st to November 5th. That's a big goal. And what does it? 100 paid GOP ballot chasers. Okay, we don't need the rest of this. He wanted paid people, not volunteer. That's another problem sometimes the Republicans have. They don't want to pay people. So he wanted 100 full-time paid ballot chasers. You ever heard the line, you get what you pay for? And the result, what did he need? So what was a victory? Measurable. What is the victory? What are you trying to achieve, gentlemen? What is going to be your goal? And what is the measurable success? What do you define as success for this year? It's coming up, 2025. What is success for you? In whatever year you watch this video, what is success for you this year? You got to have it written down so you know. His goal was 33% statewide of the mail-in ballot, to go from 20 to 33. So it was a measurable increase, right? So here he's talking about what happened and transpired between him and Charlie Kirk and the plan. Let's watch clip one.
And I asked Charlie a couple things. Talking to him and Tyler, I said, are we going to have an issue where there's going to be all these silos and we were going to be doing different things than the RNC or than the Trump campaign or these other groups? And ladies and gentlemen, the most beautiful thing about 2024 is that every America First organization came together. We sang from the same song sheet, and that's what leadership does, and that's how you come up with victory.
So Charlie Kirk was talking to him. What did he do? When you're getting involved in business, what do you want to do? You usually want to ask good questions, and he asked good questions. Who else is going to be involved? What are their goals and directives going to be from the GOP, from the Trump campaign? You want to get into a mess and not be able to execute. Clip 2 has a great life lesson for you men. Adapt and win. Clip 2, go.
Trump's PA mail-in ballot guy says, quote, I hate mail-in ballots. Well, I do. I'm not here to say that I love them. We're not spokesmen. But the thing that Charlie has taught so many of us is it's not about liking the rules. It's adapting and winning based on the current set of rules.
So this is a great life lesson. If they change the rules, what do you have to do? You have to adapt to it. Cliff Maloney and Charlie Kirk adapt to it. I remember this discussion in the Orange County group. We'd run men's groups. That's an action because we didn't think men were getting together enough, so we put men together. Now listen, adapt, right? Nick Saban, Cliff Maloney. In Orange County, we were talking about Orange County in California did this ballot harvesting thing, and people were upset. But Dave Harrington and I said, hey, let's just do it. And we had a big argument about it. And Dave and I were on the same thing. We thought we should just do it. If they're going to do it, let's do it, because it was legal, right? If it's legal, instead of just saying, well, we don't like mail-in ballot. Nobody likes mail-in ballot. We know there's fraud amidst in it, but you got to do it. So here's the point for your business. If they change the rules, like they changed the rules in college football on Nick Saban, he loved defense. He built the best defenses ever. And they changed the rule to favor the offense. So what did he do? He went out and got great quarterbacks and built great receiving teams and built a great offense and still won national titles. And they changed the rules often on him, and he kept winning titles. He adapted to the game, even at the end. So you can adapt and win at life. You can adapt and win at your business. So this is the life lesson. They change the rules, adapt to it. Here's another point on adapting. If your strategy or your tactics is not working, adapt, change. Let's go on to clip 3. When you get knocked down, what are you going to do?
So in 2020, we all said the same thing. Let's vote on Election Day. It's the most secure way to vote. 2021, we all said, well, maybe the courts will fix it, please. No. 2022, at least in Pennsylvania, we were hoping the legislature would fix it. Not a chance. We lost our state house in 2022. So in 2023, we all get punched in the face. A lot of these elections specific to Pennsylvania, it was a bloodbath. And we all looked in the mirror and said, what are we going to do?
So here was the deal. He saw all these events taking place in Pennsylvania and didn't like it. What did he do? He took action. You can't wait for others, right? The courts are going to fix it. The legislature is going to fix it. Washington, D.C. is going to fix it. And this is applicable to the whole nation. Because at one point, a long time ago, we thought that if we won the House, it might do something. But we found out during Bush's reign, the House and Senate weren't going to do anything because we have these establishment guys. Here's another thing about Cliff Maloney. He's not an establishment guy. We agree with his ideas. He's not a neocon. He likes Ron Paul. So he can put good people in because he has all these good ideas and principles. He doesn't like the Fed. He doesn't like the debt. He doesn't like the deficit. So great things about Cliff Maloney is he doesn't just take action. He knows the ideas and he believes in many of the same things we do. So Cliff Maloney, ideas, principles, the Fed, the debt, the deficits, secure border. He wants a secure border. So he can select great and back great candidates and help them win because he has those principles, right? He has the same principles as we do. Free markets, Ron Paul. So what did he decide? The legislature didn't do it. The legislature didn't do it. The courts didn't do it. So you can't wait for somebody else. And Washington's not going to do it. We're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it. It's up to us. And Cliff Maloney took action. He's a man of action. He didn't wait for someone else. He finally got caught up. And what else did he do? He didn't just go take action. He came up with a plan, right, to execute. And it was well thought out. And there you go. Now, this is a great clip coming up for goals and success. Clip 4. Let's go.
And so after talking to Charlie and walking through these different things and agreeing, we launched the PA Chase. We said we'd go out and knock 500,000 doors across Pennsylvania in targeted areas. And we set a goal that I got a lot of pushback for. And the Democrats laughed at me. They're not laughing now, I'll tell you that. But they laughed at me because a lot of the political consulting class, and Charlie and Tyler talk a lot about this, they talk about effort. They talk about activity. They don't talk about measurable results.
So you got to make goals measurable and you've got to see them. And what else does he do here in this clip that I love, that I always do? What does he do? He's obviously got it written down somewhere and he's reviewing it every day. And I'll tell you why that's important. Other people are going to have a lot of good ideas and they're going to be trying to help, and some aren't, but they're going to give you all these ideas. But you got to stick to what you're trying to accomplish, your main overarching goal. And he's got one, and we'll get to that clip in a minute. But what are you trying to do and why? Where are you going to use your time, energy, money? You can't go everywhere. So he's got it written down and he reviews it. Every day he'd put up 33% right. Every day he'd write it down. I love that. Specific goals, clip 5.
And so we looked at the numbers and said, do we care about the percentage that we get when it comes to mail-in vote? Do we care about the raw amount of votes that we can get for Trump? And always comparing that to 2020, the last time that he was on the ballot. And so the PA Chase set out, and we went bold, because Republicans in Pennsylvania have averaged 20% of the mail-in share. Think about that, folks. You go into the election, you're down 60 percentage points. It's 20 to 80 going in. And so we said if we can take that 20% average and increase Trump's share of mail-in vote versus Harris to 33%, we would have a resounding victory. Well,
so he set this large goal. He wants to go from 20% to 33%. That is a big goal. And large goals, and he has to have a plan on how to execute that in the people and be a great leader. So he does that. He had a specific goal that's specific and measurable, 20 to 33%. And it's achievable, right? It's smart. It fits in that plan, and it's relevant, right? It's definitely relevant to the election. Let's go on to clip 6.
Victory. Well, folks, we knocked 510,000 doors. Trump received 34.5% of the mail-in vote, and we delivered Pennsylvania.
So he had large goals, and what did he do? He achieved it. He set a big enough goal. So when you're setting a goal, make sure you reach and make it large enough. And he did what? He attained a victory. And he was a huge part of the Pennsylvania Trump victory. And notice it was achievable. He did it. Smart example. He knocked on 500, over, by the way. He knocked on over 500,000 doors between that limited window of time. Is that amazing? This guy is amazing, right? This is fantastic. I like this guy. All right, clip 7.
2024, we went public with this PA chase and said we need 33% of the mail-in vote to go to Donald Trump. We came in at 34.5, but like every morning I get up, right, and I'm looking at my wall and writing 33%. Like, and good entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
right? That is the focus. Like, you need to be very clear, and your whole team needs to know, how are we measuring success?
So what did you do? Write it down and reviewed it every single day. And I think you should review. I review my goals all the time. We review our goals. So what are you writing down every day? What is your goal? Next clip. When they come after he's a fighter, watch this clip. He had a choice. Clip 8.
You know, when you get in the political arena, if you're over the target, they will come for you. And they will come for you in a way that I don't think people will ever expect. Or it's almost like reverse imposter syndrome. You think, well, I can't be that important when they really come after me. But we have taken out some of the most powerful Democrats and some of the most powerful Republicans. I've had civil cases thrown my way. I've had criminal charges thrown my way. I've had FEC complaints. I've had state election commissions. They want to be clear, I've beat everything. But that's not the point. The point is you have to go through it. And I always tell people, when the lawfare comes for you, Trump going through what he went through has helped anybody that's dealt with the BS, because now it's normalized, it's nationalized. People can see it. 20 years ago, if I would have went through what I went through and they tried to put me in prison, they tried to take all my money, I might have had to get out of politics because they could, well, where there's smoke, there's fire. Really? Check for an arsonist, buddy.
Yeah.
Because there could be other rationale or other incentives here, and people just don't want to take the time to look. So I tell everybody, like, if you're over the target, you have two choices when they come for you. One, go into the corner, get into a ball in the fetal position and cry and get out of politics forever. Or two, stand up, put a smile on your face, and punch them right in the mouth, because winning is the greatest revenge.
So if you're having victory, if they see you as a threat, that side, the whoever we're talking about, the powers that be that don't like you, that oppose you, will come after you, right? So he had a choice. He had the choice of virtues and courage, or he could have just walked away. No problem with that either. That's not having courage. It's just his choice. But he's saying you've got a choice when they come after you. If you're over the target, if you're having an impact, if you're making a difference, certain factions will come after you. And that's the way we say it. Certain factions who oppose you, who want other things for this country. Notice this too. Remember, he's got a purpose larger than himself and a big why. So we like it. He had courage. He kept going. He didn't have to. And he says, you got a choice. You can get out of it, politics, or you can stand. So they can go after you with lawsuits and cost you money and everything. Life lesson. If you're over to the target, they will come after you. They'll also call you a bunch of names, racist, misogynistic, everything in the book. Don't worry about the names. Last clip 9. Let's go.
What is that thing you're going to be the best? When I talk about a goal, right, and just owning that you're going to be the best in the world. My pronouns are knock/doors, and his book really taught me that. There are different ways you can use the tactic, but what I want to be the best in the world at is building an infrastructure of door-to-door operations and having the best ground game in the world.
And like we said, he went over his goals. He kept reviewing it. He wrote it down every day. And what did he want? What did he want? He wanted to be the best. He had a clear vision of whom he wanted to be, what he wanted to be the best at. He wanted to be the best at knocking on doors. Do you know what you want to be the best at? He knows. And he got that. He's the best at knocking doors. He's a great American hero. And I like in the interview where he says he wanted his pronouns to be knock/doors. What do you want 2 words to define you as, and what do you want to be the best at? That's what we want for you. We want you to be the best at something else and have a big why. Thanks.